a little overview of Learn 360. So the easiest way to get to the info-based Learn 360 site, we've already put it in Classlink. So if you'll follow me, I'm going to open a new tab. And to get to Classlink from any computer, you can go to cl.palmdalesd.org. And sorry, mine says CLA. That's not going to go anywhere. cl.palmdalesd.org. So I'm going to navigate to Classlink. And I'm already logged in, but if you're not logged in, and let me go ahead and sign out really quick, you'll see a page that looks just like this. And I obviously have an auto launch set for Duolingo. So there you go, I'm gonna turn that off. All right, so your login page will look similar to this. And you can sign in with your Active Directory login, which is the same login that you do for your computer every day. It's the beginning of your email, and it's that same password, and you would click this light blue sign in button. If you have been in Classlink before and you've already logged in and connected your Google account, then click sign in with Google. If you have not signed in with Google before or linked your Google account, if you click sign in with Google, it won't do anything. It'll just say your credentials are not accurate. So you need to come back here. And by the way, this is for your students as well, because you might have a lot of students who have never logged in with Classlink before, and they might be having issues getting signed in. So this would be their 9-digit ID here, their 8-digit birth date here, and then just clicking the sign in button. All right, so once I sign in, now I'm going to give you bonus tips. So for all of you who missed my Classlink session yesterday and maybe don't know this, I'm going to do a quick rundown for you in Classlink. This is really important. You need to link your Google account to Classlink. So from this point forward, you'll be able to click that sign in with Google button. So up next to your shadowy head or picture, if you've put one in here, there's a down arrow, and you're going to click My Profile. And you're going to choose Sign In Options. And next to Google account, mine says disconnect, meaning it's already connected. So please don't disconnect. But if you see the word connect here, please click Connect, log into your Google account, and that will connect your Google account to Classlink. So from this point forward, you would be able to log in to Classlink using that login with Google. You're going to want to guide your students to do that as well if they have not done that. I know that probably in grades 2 on up that you've probably already had your students do this work. So kinder and first grade teachers might not have been using Classlink, and if you haven't, it's going to be a little more work on the front end to get your students into Classlink, but it's well worth it, because once they get into Classlink, all of their apps that they'll need to access will be here, including Google Classroom. So my Classlink page may look a little different than yours because I've got a lot of stuff in Classlink, including folders here and apps down here. I've already loaded the info-based Learn 360 app, but if you have not, you're going to click the plus sign, and you're going to go to the teacher library. And in the teacher library, you're going to look for info-based Learn 360, or you can even search for it here. And when you put it in the search, you'll see that it shows up here. Mine's already on, so it would say remove, but yours will say add. So go ahead and click add, and then close out of this window. So info-based Learn 360 should now be on your Classlink desktop. Now we have not added it yet for students, because what we want to do is have teachers use it first and tell us how you think students might use it. And if you think it would be beneficial for students to have that as well, so they could search for their own videos, then we can put it up there as well. Also, info-based Learn 360, they've given us a license, so we can actually put this out on our website and allow the parents in the community to use as well. We haven't gotten there yet. We wanted teachers to use it first to see what resources that you like, and if you think it would be beneficial, you can let us know, and we can certainly put it out onto our website. So I'm going to go ahead and click and log in. You will notice it logs in right away. If at any time you are in the info-based Learn 360 site and it prompts you for a username and a password, and I've had it do it occasionally, The username and the password is, all right, so you'll see on the home page that they have over 175,000 assets here in the site. You can search by videos, games and activities, printables, audio, maps and flags, or STEM lessons. Notice it will, your profile is not logged in here. Now, next year, when we actually get the full version of this, you will actually log into your own account and your own profile will be loaded in here. Right now, we're all kind of sharing a single space, but don't let that confuse you because it still is personalized to a degree. So, but next year, you will have your own personal login to this site, just letting you know. All right, and up here on the left, where sometimes we call that the hamburger or the hot dog, right? The 3 horizontal lines. That always means there's another menu. So if you only want to see pre-K 5, you can choose that. Or if you only want to see middle and high school, so 6 through 12, you can choose that as well. Right now, I'm going to leave this defaulted to district all grades. And so when I go to do my search, and notice you have advanced search and browsing standards. So if I go to advanced search, I will be able to look more specifically for content. So if I'm looking for science, as an example, and I'm looking for atmosphere, and here I can choose what type. Do I want just videos, audio, encyclopedia, experiments, games and activities? So you can be more specific, or you can just be general and search for anything that has to do with atmosphere. I'm going to leave general open and see what I get. And I'm going to get some videos from NASA. And some of these are quite long. Like this is a 25-minute video. I probably wouldn't assign a 25-minute video to my students. That's too long. But most of these are segmented, meaning that if I go into this video and I look at it, it will show me that it is segmented into smaller portions. So maybe I only want to assign on Monday, I only want to assign weather and climate to my students, and they can watch the 4.5-minute video clip, and I can ask them questions in my Google Classroom on that video clip. Or maybe I only want to assign any one of those segments. So the good news is on the longer movies, they usually have them segmented, so you could assign just a portion of the video day by day and not ask your students to watch a full 25-minute video in a single day. That's too much. So one thing that was missed on the video that we just watched as the introduction, it was a little bit older. They have this really awesome tool right now. Do you see here down? Oh, this is like my favorite, right? It says Google Classroom. So this allows you to actually add this content into your Google Classroom directly. How? You might add because you say, hey, wait a minute, if we're all in the same space, how's it going to my Google Classroom? Because that was my first question too. And it will ask you to authenticate into your Google Classroom. You see how I'm already logged in on my browser, and in my Chrome, I'm logged into my Palmdale account, so it automatically found me. If you are not logged into your Palmdale account, it won't find your classroom. So this will remind you, oh yeah, I've got to log into my Chrome with my Palmdale account. I've got to log in with my Palmdale account to Google. And once I do that, then it's automatically going to find my classroom. So I can choose my classes from the down arrow here. So if you have more than one class, you can choose which class you want this to go to. And it gives you an action. Do you want to create an assignment, ask a question, make an announcement, or create material? If I create an assignment, it will open another window that allows me, and I can size this window so I can see more, that allows me to finish a full assignment here for my students. Now, this one's actually loading the whole 25-minute video, and I would rather go to a clip and assign the clip. I did not do that. I went to the whole video. So if you wanted to assign the clip, you would go over here and choose the clip and then assign the clip. So you would give your kids instructions, watch this video, and answer the questions on the form I post. So you might want to put out a Google form that allows the students, and of course we're going to say this is ungraded, that allows the students to watch this video, and then in another assignment you'll give them the form, and then they can answer the questions that you give them in the form on the video. Or maybe you want to add a shared Google Doc where kids put their comments in. And of course, when you're in a shared Google Doc, you have to guide your students to understand that they are not invisible in the shared Google document. And if they make inappropriate comments, not only will other kids see that, but you'll see that and you'll know who said it. So that's another thing that you might want to talk to your kids about. You can give this a due date. And so maybe I want this due by next Tuesday. And of course, your time is optional. It usually defaults to 11:59 p.m. because that's usually that's a last minute, right? But you might want to make that earlier, like 8 p.m., so that your kids don't stay up until very late trying to get an assignment done. And if you already have topics created for this particular class, you can assign it to a topic. So maybe this is your science topic, and you want to assign that under science, or maybe this is period 3, and you want to assign it to period 3. You can schedule your post right here. So if you don't want the assignment to go out until later today, you can schedule it here, or you can save it as a draft, or you can discard. So maybe I started and I don't want to finish and I want to discard it. So I'm going to go ahead and click assign, and knowing that there I go, it's been posted into my Google Classroom, and that's awesome. And I could go here and click view and it would take me to my Google Classroom to show me, but I'm not going to do that. So this is an incredible tool here in Learn 360 where you can find educational videos for your students to do asynchronously. And we've been talking a lot about synchronous and asynchronous all week long. So synchronous means at the same time, like you and I are right now, we're at the same time in this meeting. Asynchronous means that I would assign it and you would watch it at your pace, at your leisure. You could click on it later tonight, tomorrow morning, you could do it on Sunday, you could do it on Monday, you could do it at any time until the assignment was due. That's asynchronous, all right? So you can find other videos in here. Again, you have an advanced search tool.
Hey, Chris?
Yes.
Could you show how they can find some of these resources in Spanish?
So
by typing the Spanish in there and how it looks different?
Right. So some of these, just to let you know, there are resources in here in Spanish. There's not a vast amount of resources in Spanish, but there are some in Spanish. So I'm going to let's see if I just want to find Spanish videos right now. And keep in mind that if you're just searching for Spanish videos, then you're going to get all kinds. So I could even say maybe I only want subject, maybe I only want history or science Spanish videos. So I'm going to try and see if there's just some science Spanish videos, and let's see what we get. Now, just so you know, searching this way, it'll show you some of these. If it's in parentheses, that means it's in Spanish. But some of these you might get where it says it's like cultural. It's more about the Spanish culture. So if you're doing a search in that way, you will find Spanish culture. So I just look science. You could get a little more close to what you want. You can even still filter by grade levels if you want. So I can filter by types and copyright dates and producers. I could search for grades. Maybe I only want 3rd through 5th, and it will filter again. So so there you go. There are some Spanish resources in here, not an incredible amount, but also you see where it says science here. I'm going to uncheck science, and I could go to world languages and see that there is Spanish. And so under Spanish, it could be communication as well. So you can look for titles in Spanish as well. Under your advanced search, when you go for your search options, you can, again, put your search term in here if you'd like. And you can do multiple search terms. So if I do science and Spanish, for example, it will also only look for Spanish materials in science. Okay, so I have some options here, and that allows me to search a little more deeply for different content. And let me quick, for folks who've been waiting out here and joining us now. All right, and this is a good time to take some questions. So Melissa, thanks for fielding a couple of those questions. I see when I use Hapara Workspace and not Google Classroom, how about I put this into Hapara? Okay, good question. So I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a search really quick. And there's a share button here. And of course, Google Classroom shows here, but you're also going to get a link. So you can copy this link and you can paste that link into Hapara, and that will work just as well. So thanks. Good question. If you're using Hapara, you can paste the link into Hapara. All right. And any other questions? Let's see. Students and teacher, let's see. I see Melissa's responses. Thank you, Melissa, for responding to some of those. And is anybody having issue finding, I know some people came in late to my meeting, so just so you know, you can find the InfoBase Learn 360 back in Classlink, and you can add it into your Classlink with the plus button and going to the teacher library and searching for InfoBase, and that's where you'll find it to add to your library, okay? And once it's in your library, you can just click out a Classlink and it will launch InfoBase Learn 360. So this is really a quick tool to show you. I really wanted, there's more stuff in here. You can investigate, you can learn more about the encyclopedia information in here. You can go to the image library. By the way, images in this library are open to share. So they're copyright free, which is great for you as well. So I'm going to click, and right now I have filters on, notice, so it's only looking for science and Spanish. So if I take that out and I go back to the image library, oops, it's still filtering. So I need to go back home and take my filters off. There you go. When I go back home, it does remove all of the filters. So I know sometimes that can be a little confusing because it's like when you're shopping and you put filters on and then you go and then you're like, how come I can't see brown shoes? I'm only seeing black shoes, and you forgot you put the filter on for black shoes. So you have to take the filters off so that you can see all of the content again. Okay, let's take a couple more questions before I finish up with this. And let's see in the chat. All right, password. So if you hit a section that asks you for a password, and I haven't hit one yet, but every once in a while it'll pop up for me, and I don't know what prompts that little page to open up that says, what's your password? But if it does, it's and really easy to remember. And so you shouldn't have to strain your brain too much to log in if you do get that login that comes up. So if you're sharing a classroom, can you place it in the assignments in that classroom? And when you say sharing a classroom, I'm assuming you mean co-teaching. And if you're co-teaching in a classroom, yes, all the people who are co-teachers in classrooms have the option of sharing into their co-teachers' classrooms. So that should help. And when can we start to use it? Right now. It is working. It is open for you right now. Again, you don't want to just go to InfoBase 360 from the web. Don't go here. Just don't go look for it here and then try to log in from here, from the web. Because if you try to log in from here, that will not work. You have to go in through the link in Classlink, because that's taking you out to a unique site that is for Palmdale teachers only. Okay. Yeah, there's middle school stuff. And so if you click here on the home button, you'll see middle and high, and you can just filter just for middle and high school students. And you can search that way if you'd like. You can also go to standards. So if you want to browse through standards, you can do California, select a grade. So maybe you only want 6th grade content, and maybe you only want language arts content. And so right now I'm going to view my standards. And from here, it should take me to resources. I'm hoping that will take me out. If that's the standard that I'm covering, there you go. Now, all of these videos that they've collated for you are related to that particular standard. So if you want to look standard first and then go find related resources, you can do that as well. Okay. Do you need to install in self-service? Oh, you're on an iPad. No, on an iPad, you're going to go to Classlink as well. So you're just going to navigate through Classlink on your iPad to click on that again, right here, click on the link. So Classlink is in self-service, that is correct. So add Classlink to your iPad in self-service and then start with Classlink. That's the place to go. Okay. Show how to share in Hapara. Yeah, I did that just a little bit earlier, but so I'm going to go ahead and go see the share button. So it's sort of like social media when you see that little share and it looks like 3 dots and 2 lines. Anytime you see share, you're going to choose it's going to default to Google Classroom. You could do email, but your students don't have an email, so that's not going to help. So you're going to go to embed link and you're going to copy this link, go to Hapara and paste the link. You know, in Hapara, when you create a lesson, just like in Google Classroom, you can add a link. And so you will put the link into that assignment in Hapara. That's how that works. No ads, that's correct. So that's what makes this really brilliant. And no comments and no icky things that you don't want your kids to see. All educational, all good stuff. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the recording of this session because we've covered most of the content that we need to cover. But if you want to hang in here and ask some questions here in a bit, yes, you can assign the activities. All of this is assignable right now. So anything that you find in this, you can assign to your students. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and then we're going to go ahead and continue answering some questions. So thank you for joining me for the introduction to InfoBase Learn 360. And I appreciate that you came to my session today. And again, if you want to hang in there and ask some questions, we'll do that now.